like Nerf parties are leaving. Like we've had times where two Nerf parties at once will be leaving, and then an Airsoft party will be coming in.
Yeah, you're trying to get them started.
Insanity.
It's gonna be insanity for adult night. Right?
Yeah.
But
But
how's it going, guys? Welcome to another stream. Ded's here.
wait, you just put that live?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
you know
What's
it.
up, guys?
As I was saying, welcome to another stream. This one we're going to talk about some of the funny, weird things in Facebook. Wow, Airsoft. Facebook would be 8 streams. So we're going to start talking about kind of this weird trend we've seen lately, where people are, I guess it's
being
cool.
a dick.
Is it cool to be an asshole all of a sudden in Airsoft? I wouldn't say all of a sudden, but over the last recent amount of time. And then also the thing we didn't talk about last week, kind of go over some of just the weird features we see in Airsoft and like where the hell they come from, where they go, kind of thing. And we have a pretty baller announcement for you about halfway through the stream, so stay tuned for that. You might notice the field looks a little different behind us. There's a reason.
It's the best reason.
Right? But as always, I'll let Dan and James take away the announcements to start the stream off. Hey, just speaker, clapping.
Yikes.
So what we're doing is...
Okay.
All right, so what we got this month, 21st, it's a Friday, pistol shotgun night, as per the usual. Pistol shotguns only. You know the drill, $15. It's a good time. Smaller crowd, so you really get to get up and personal and move around a lot. The whole point of CQB. And then I can't really think of anything else. I mean, we just had our...
I don't know. I think we have this anniversary thing coming up.
Oh yes,
soon.
I was
That's
trying.
not a big deal, right?
I was trying to see if I couldn't skip a bunch of stuff, but yes. So August 26th.
Yep.
It's a Saturday. Make sure that you're here for our 8-year for Extreme Airsoft's Crazy 8. It's going to be 8 years here.
Are you not seeing it?
At this location.
Keep going. Keep talking. Yeah.
So it's 8 years at this location. It's going to be massive.
Oops.
We're trying to have get as many people out as we can. We're reaching out to a lot of companies, and we're going to start reaching out to some of you guys' favorite YouTubers. So if you have any suggestions on actually some people you may want to see here, we'll hit it down in the bottom. And,
Sorry, Facebook. You didn't miss much. I promise.
Just go back later. Maybe. Toss it up in the comments, and we'll see if we can get some of those people. I've been compiling a list of persons that would be interested in coming here, I think. But yeah, usually Jet and Leah come out, and it's bright. So usually we'll have Jet and Leah. Usually P90 Girl comes out. We're gonna have companies: Elite Force, Vulcan.
Tippmann I was just on the phone with Tippmann on Monday. They're 99.9% coming. I just need one person to send me an email. But
so Tippmann,
Tippmann's coming.
and we're just waiting to hear back from a bunch of other companies.
Yeah,
so hopefully,
I've been talking to a lot of companies about that recently. I was talking CQC Ent, the other people who on the United States side of things, they sell the tagging products. So like the R2B grenades. Right. I was talking to them today, and they might be interested in making the troop up here, which would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, we're super hardcore up here in the New England,
right? A little different
for Airsoft. And I was telling them, you guys don't know, but Airsoft up here in New England is more hardcore than any other part of the country. I don't care what anyone else says.
Definitely more Milsim.
We're just
the birthplace of Milsim, and that's kind of an undisputed fact.
Yeah.
But I know the National Guard, I think, said they're going to bring the rock wall. We'll see what else kind of comes along.
Also, happy birthday, Fry.
Oh, yeah?
Happy belated, Fry. Boom. But yeah, it's going to be big. Tons of people are going to be there. So we actually have pre-registration on our website so that you can skip the line and not have to wait. We're gonna.
I knew it! You shithead!
I wish I could do this.
Such a piece of shit. So, for one of you guys who are wondering why I'm so angry all of a sudden, Des somehow snuck his mouse receiver into my laptop, and my mouse just kept moving around. And I finally looked, and there's 2 receivers for mice in here, and it's a little micro USB one, so you can't tell.
Oh, that works.
The thing is, I was looking at this like, that's weird. Usually I don't have it on this side. And then it moved, and I was like, oh, that'd be funny if Des had it. And then I was like, wait. Yeah.
Yikes.
Piece of shit.
So, anyways, it's gonna be big.
Tell me that wasn't perfect.
That was great.
Make sure that you guys pre-register because it'll save you a lot of headache. It's $35 to pre-register. It's the biggest event of the
Remember when I
year.
was like,
We're going to be having a couple of cool new field editions, theme buildings, lighting, a bunch of things that we're trying to revamp everything for you guys to just make this place as awesome as it can be. So definitely just pre-register. It's going to be super easy.
Oh yeah.
You get to skip the line. You save $5.
Oh, yeah, the line is the
regular
biggest
admission.
thing.
Links in the description if you're on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, just find the event, and we should have it in there. If not, just go to our website. Because if you can
And-
access Facebook, you can access our website.
It'll look
Nerds.
like this.
Yeah.
So-
I guess I'll go with it. One thing that people, one of the complaints has always been the line, and so we figured, well, geez, like why? Because we can't tell if people have waivers or not. That's the real choke point.
That's what stops
with our
it.
current system. So if you guys pre-register, we're actually able to check if you have a waiver or not.
Yeah.
When it'll be fantastic. So you guys would actually get, it's kind of like it's a speed pass. You save $5 and you get on there. So if you're looking to come this year, which you absolutely should. I mean, there's gonna be a Rockwall, National Guard's gonna be there, all the other people we just talked about a few seconds ago. It's gonna be crazy. And then there's a raffle. Tippmann, I'm almost
The
certain
raffle's always absurd.
I'm pretty sure Tippmann is supplying a whole package, so a tank, line, and gun. That's like $600-700 right there.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the grand prizes for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
We should tell them that we do Tippmann rentals now. We also do Tippmann rentals now.
Yeah.
Other than it's so the admission now, you have your regular admission, $20 to rent. For an additional $20, you get to rent a Tippmann. So like the Tippmann Airsoft M4, we do tank and line or tank with the ASA adapter. So you're running kind of like a paintball gun, and either configuration is going to be fine, but you get air all day. So.
I think James wants to say something.
Yes,
I just
also-
get that impression.
I don't
Also,
know,
I forgot
what
to
to
mention,
say
so when
that.
I was on the phone with Tippmann, you know, they came out with those new CQB guns. But they're not new, they're just marketing it as new.
Yeah.
Me and Dad were literally
We
complaining
were talking
this
about that, and
just
Tippmann
before
was
this
like,
stream.
"Hey, remember how you used to have to buy an aftermarket barrel to make it CQB friendly? Now you don't. We have it here, new product. It's
brand
like, This has
new.
been out for like 2
They need a
3
female
years.
barrel. I've always said they need a 20-inch barrel.
Anyways.
But yeah.
But on that note, so then since they have this new product, they're sending out demos. And I have a demo that I'm going to
New
have.
product, yeah!
Yeah, so basically, they're giving me this demo, and he said, I want you to give it to customers to beat the crap out of. So if you guys are thinking of buying a Tippmann and you want to just beat the crap out of one in our shooting
Where's
booth,
the crap come out?
I don't know, one of the holes usually. That's white though.
But
so I don't know.
anyways, if you didn't know, Tippmanns are
It's
What are
also
the barrels contents
like
for?
bird
Keep the
poop.
white
They're
stuff
mechanical.
coming
Yeah,
out
it's
of your
the
gun.
bird
so it's like a
Yeah.
poor man's
Yeah,
Daytona
that's
gun.
it.
No,
That's
yeah.
it.
So
barrel
it gets you the
content keeps the white
recoil and
stuff
everything.
coming out
So
of
they're
your
super
gun.
nice, super minty.
Put a rubber
I've run
on
one
it.
a couple of times, so I know a bunch of guys that like running them. They love their Tippmanns, so I
But
recommend them.
I think it's time to actually talk about the topic.
Yeah,
since
let's
we're like
talk
10
about
minutes
stuff.
in at this point. James, what are you smirking about over there?
Nothing. My boy Hunter, he put an emoji of a cheese pizza. Actually, it's a pepperoni pizza on my end, but that is a joke from like 2 years ago. You know the CP, you know your spawn.
Command point,
We called it the cheese pizza. So like, see you back at the cheese pizza, boys. My boy, I love you,
That's
Hunter.
pretty lit.
I haven't seen that guy in a while. I need to play with him.
But yeah, as we're talking about today's topic, recently, especially with the advent of everybody and their brother wearing GoPros,
Yeah,
it
YouTube
seems-
blowing up. Holy
it seems that it's almost become more popular for people to post videos of themselves. I don't want being dicks. Basically, is trying to skirt the rules without breaking the rules, and for all those who want people that are watching the stream that want to say we're talking about someone or a group in specific, we're not. This is a countrywide thing that's happening in Airsoft.
You can
This
see
is-
it on just about
Yeah.
any YouTube channel. Like you're gonna see like
We see it a lot here too, and it's fantastic when customers. I mean, I actually caught one and banned him. I'll say it straight up. I'm not gonna say any names, but I got one kid. He posted a video of him literally being a dick, and then I read through the comments, and he's like, you know, people are like, you know, and we basically made one of our customers very mad, and he said, I did it purposely to make him mad, is what he said, is that I did it to make him rage. So I found him, I called him up, and I said, don't come back for 3 weeks. You have a ban.
Yep.
And his mom was pissed, but I'm like, listen, we can see what you put on the internet.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's also like how we're like. But I mean, it's just weird. But also like videos of people being dicks, like people like cheater videos are like massive. Like everyone that has a YouTube channel, Airsoft related, has at least 1 or 5,000 videos of like Airsoft
somewhere
cheater.
between
Oh
1
my
and
God.
5,000. But
range.
right, covers everything. No,
Yes.
but I don't understand like where it came from. It used to be like post videos have how cool or how good
like
you
the
are.
crazy shit you
I guess it's
did.
just easier to be cheat than it is to.
I mean, some
be
people.
good.
Lame.
I kind of get it, like wanting to,
Wanting
some
attention.
sense of you. Well, wanting attention. Some sense of you. Well, I mean, we could talk about cheaters. Well, I mean, we are talking about cheaters.
This
and dicks.
sentence though.
But like, videos of other people cheating, like some part of you is like, yeah, there's we found the cheater, we're gonna get him, and then like you assume that there's gonna be some sort of a social justice that they usually end up taking into their own hands, and people are like, ha 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 ha,
Yeah, that's
risky, which is not good to like. And we've talked about that before. Like if someone's breaking the rules, and then you proceed to break the rules, like in order to like offset them, that's not how it works. That doesn't happen.
Fry had a great comment.
get it.
Said in quotations, roof access. I'm guessing that's a stab at GMR. I'm guessing. If we're being honest, they were kind of the original people who posted videos of them being dicks. Like, they'd be kicking in doors.
Most of the time, they were like, I'll say, again, they got the skirting the rules. They weren't breaking rules, but they weren't following the spirit.
They were
of the
Yeah.
bending them.
It
like,
was-
right
yeah,
to
they
the
were
point of
really-
rules. Yeah, like a
breaking.
rubber band bends.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't like it was like a good intentions kind of thing, or like something or maybe missing the malintent of.
No, exactly. No, exactly what you're saying is they were doing it specifically. It's not like they didn't understand that they were being assholes.
Yeah.
It's when someone's being a dick with full understanding.
They
that
know
what
that they're being a dick.
What they're doing
proceeding
is
to
going
do that.
against what the event runner would want.
Yeah.
That's an
That
issue.
sucks.
Yeah. And David did mention that it is old news, and it kind of is old news.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because we've just been paying more attention recently. But
Yeah.
one person I'm friends with on Facebook, I'm not naming names or anything. I'm not saying he's wrong for doing this, but it's just like, so he's down in like that like Florida, Georgia area, and he's all like, he'll go to a game and he does this thing. You know how up here we have stag ops like green versus tan. There's definitely like that, like, yeah, screw you tan, oh, green's lame.
Yeah.
There's all that,
Yeah,
but it's
there's
all in
that.
good fun.
Yeah.
But like down there, like
It's
the green versus tan down there, like
Is it legit?
it's like Volkswagen and Subaru owners. Like they just hate each other. They honest to God hate each other. And he's always posting these videos of like hit calling issues, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll put you on blast, boy. Like he's like some like super badass online. It's just like,
Well,
why do you need
I
all
think
this?
I think that's where a lot of
Why
it
does this
comes
all
from
need
too.
to be done.
That's where a lot of it comes from, and that's kind of half the issue. Is they perceive that somebody is quote unquote cheating or playing unfairly by maybe not calling their hit, even though they could be, as we've discussed in the past, totally missing them.
Yeah.
And they think they're not calling. So they then match that by trying to be, trying to play their own advantage way and skirting the rules. And it ends up just being this thing that builds and builds and builds and builds.
Yeah, it's just like,
until
oh,
you
if
have
I'm calling his hits, why should I
And then
call
when
mine?
sh-
Like,
when it
until you
hits the
have like
fan,
an
it
asshole dick
blows up.
measuring contest on the middle of the field. And we've all seen it happen. We've all seen the rage of it, and
yeah.
it's. You've personally seen my reaction when I see rage going, as I sidestep myself out of that room.
If you ever want to see Des like low-key exit a room, you just be in a room where people are yelling. Des will just slowly move to the corner and put his face on the wall. Like,
dumb.
But my response is what most people should be, of just like
Walk away.
like just walk
It's
away.
not a-
Like it's a game. It's
an-
literally
Yeah,
a
that's
game.
the thing. Some people get so heated, like, and they.
I'm just like, I'm not
Something
being
you
part
run
of
it
this.
like you run into like here you run into issues where like people are complaining, but like about people not calling their hits a lot, and unless you have like tracers and you can completely confirm, like there's a distinction, you
I'm
know.
gonna have to look at
It's
this.
different.
are the best.
If you're just sitting back and like taking pot shots at some dude and you're just screaming, like you can't tell. There's no definitive way of you knowing that you shot that gun. You know, you'd have to really tune a gun to be in the same exact spot every time you pull the trigger.
You know what my favorite one is? This is my favorite one, and this is like kind of straying away from the whole, you know, people are being dicks thing, but it's still kind of relevant. My favorite is my red dot is always on point. I love
That's
that
dumb.
one. That's my favorite
It's
one.
a spherical pellet.
Exactly.
Oh.
Airsoft guns are literally advanced muskets. You have a spherical ball moving down a polished metal barrel. Tell me that's not a freaking
Oh, yeah.
musket.
Okay.
All right, and if you think that
Minus
you're
the cool
accurate,
explosive part.
yeah, especially minus the cool explosive part. But like, if you're telling me that at 100 foot with a glorified musket, you're at dead on point, like 150 feet, you're full of shit. Like muskets, like literally do not shoot until you see the white in your eyes. Do you know how that's literally 50 feet away?
If not
Like,
closer.
Yeah.
If not closer.
Yeah.
Okay, if you think that you're pushing 300 feet dead on with your laser dot, like no,
You
and
can't,
also,
no,
I mean,
no.
don't even get me started with zeroing and how that doesn't work.
See, like that's
But-
that's what I'm saying. Is people like think
that's
that
not how it
everything
works.
it's airsoft
Right, right.
your everything is 100% like it's accurate. Like everything
I
you
wish.
do is perfect.
If we could afford to run
Like, oh, he's
around,
not calling his hits.
I'm not gonna lie. If we could afford to run around with 400
Like,
FPS simunition rifles,
Oh my god.
I would do that all day long. But you'd
Yeah.
be broke 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if we could
But-
shoot simunition.
So
Apparently, there's
I
a
see
field open
it's
in
ridiculous.
Florida where it's a simunition.
Adult Night V2 simunition.
Yeah.
night.
All right. Yeah.
If we could have like a simunition fleet, how crazy would that be?
Very, because I'm pretty sure we could all just instead like go buy mansions in the fucking Hollywood Hills.
Yeah,
or-
right. No, this place would need to be like 80 times the size to
Of
put
Evike.
on. Yeah.
We need to be 8 times the size of Evike to afford that.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy.
It's like unless you have somebody like completely like a dead to rights kill, like we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
There's no definitive way of knowing that you have in fact shot that person, that they felt it. You know, if somebody is like
Right. I mean, I've gotten hit, and someone was like, "Oh, I hit you in the dump pouch," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
Whoops.
okay.
I don't know, my bad." All right,
Like-
can I call myself out
Like
and walk
let
away?
me just feel that. Like no,
Right.
like and then people are just like, oh well, I shot him in the such and such. It's like, how is he gonna feel that? Like you hit him in the, you know, like a shamog. Like, oh dude, I think I'm hitting a shamog. It's like,
Or like when you have like 3 magazines stacked up, like you have a vest.
yeah, it'll
and,
hit
like, a
your
pouch on
magazines,
it.
and you're just like. I mean, sometimes you can hear it, but like you won't register unless it like physically hits you in like the heat of the moment. You're just like,
Yeah. But
So-
what the issue is, people just automatically assume he's not calling it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like, I'll
but-
always walk up and just be like, hey, dude, like, you know,
Yeah.
I'll purposely take the L and have to go back to spawn, walk
Yeah.
out of my cover and just be like, hey, dude, like, you know, I just shot you, just letting you know, but I'll go back.
yeah, like I shot you a bunch of times with a play carrier.
That's
Just
just
like
the thing that
Right.
I don't see as much anymore.
Yeah, and we also
That's the because that's but
That-
the thing that sucks is that when one person starts shouting about it, suddenly
I was
it
just gonna
penetrates.
talk about that.
It's just this whole it's the whole group think where one person says this, so then it's almost like the entire group kind of it's whatever, you know, it's a group think in psychology. So as one person in the group and then they're all in the group, it kind of the thoughts get more extreme and everything kind of like keeps taking steps, you know, in a direction. So it just keeps growing and growing. But that's because everybody's kind of pushing that. So that's the
right.
but like that's what happens, and it's absolutely ridiculous because then everyone's suddenly just shouting about no one calling their hits, but no one can like 100% confirm any of their kills, and like that's
They should also
That's
note, though, I
lost to
feel
me.
like we're really just like, man, Airsoft's dying, Airsoft is
No.
bad. Like,
Airsoft's
honestly,
not
though, like,
dying.
but I go out to games and, like,
Right.
I think
and this is such a
community's been
small.
great.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
kind of why I like the. Admittedly, that's why I like the big Milsim games. You see a lot less of it.
yeah.
I'm
yeah.
talking like, why is there such a surgence of like you see these videos go up and all that stuff and like.
Yeah.
This may
Like, it's
be
not
this may be a
cool.
stretch, but I have this hunch, like, 'cause, you know, we grew up like with limited cell phone use.
Yes, Vinny.
Wait, Vinny's talking to me online. I like eggs and you, James. Vinny.
No,
I don't
he's
think
like
I could've-
optics are a crutch. Use the force.
No, well, Vinny, I don't think I could love anyone more than I love you. But anyways, so when I grew up, like, my parents didn't let me get a cell phone until I was in high school, and they were very strict to that. They limited my computer use. But kids these days,
yeah, I was actually gonna go
they
into that in a
have like
second.
unlimited
Part of
access
it's
to the
being-
internet, and it's a lot easier to be a dick when you have a computer screen in between you and the other person.
So true.
So I was actually going to go into that. Is we all saw a reduction in this level of kind of dickishness, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
when we banned GoPros from a certain group of players who were causing a lot of the issues. And it seemed to reduce the problems. And it begs the question to ask is if you just, as much as it would kind of be disappointing, if you just didn't let airsofters have GoPros, but it fixed a lot of the issues.
Well, actually, on the opposite end, I think it's great. Because of that, we had hard evidence. Like when we gave them the GoPros back,
This is true.
and they started recording themselves being assholes
That's just
again.
something cool.
That one's
because
tough,
they would still be dicks, and they would just like
They'd record it and
jerk
put it
each other
online.
off about it like
It's
by
dumb.
themselves. And then we give them back the GoPros, they just did it and posted it online as well. Like they'd still be sharing these things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing.
I guess
is-
phrasing with that
I
one.
mean, sometimes like people, like even customers, will have GoPros, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of useful for like the referees, because then they bring it to the referees. They're like, "Yo, I have a video of this dude straight up cheating."
Right.
And then you watch it. Sometimes you're just like, I don't even know what I'm trying to look for here. But then sometimes you're just like, I can see that right there.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I mean, it's not really like something that comes in handy all the time. Is the only issue. If that happened all the time, but you can't tell.
Fixed the issue though was when we banned like the core people within a certain group that was causing issues. Gaming has been getting better every single
Sure.
weekend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just one bad egg kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a few
It's-
people like ruin the experience in general, but I mean, as of lately, I mean,
Yeah.
like there haven't been like any massive like issues that players have had. Like it's usually just like one or two individuals now at this point.
Another thing is, especially here, the whole hit calling thing is our field is dark, and I guess I don't know. Do we want to talk about why it's?
I was
dark
gonna go start to transition into that.
So you can buy
Um,
flashlights.
So, and if you want to avoid this kind of dickishness, we have something to offer now.
Yeah.
So this is the announcement I was talking about earlier. We will be introducing for lack of a better name, and we tried, adult night. And so I don't know if we mentioned it last podcast.
No babies.
We threw up a survey.
We threw up a survey, and I couldn't believe the response.
On the first night, we had. I went to
boosted
your
it,
house to
before we
study
even boosted
before we
it.
boosted it, which I'm surprised we even had to.
Right?
When I went to bed, last I checked it, we were at 52 responses within 5 hours, which is insane because usually, like when I post stuff on Facebook, like maybe like one or two people will comment, but
Right,
like,
right.
we had some genuine feedback. And the comment section, like at the very end, I left a space to add anything you guys like to add. The stuff that you guys put was just fantastic.
great.
Yeah,
Like,
it was good.
I mean, I'll be honest. It made our jobs a lot easier doing this, but it's great because now we can give you exactly what you want.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I have a lot of pride in this, in presenting this to you guys.
Right.
So in case you guys haven't seen it, it's on. You can find it on our Facebook. I think there should be a link.
There's a
YouTube.
link in both the YouTube description as well as the header of the post on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
super easy
so
to
that's
find right now.
so that's going to be the third Saturday of every month, except for this month. We're doing it on the 22nd, so we can give you guys some more heads up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. We're going to be cutting gaming short on Saturday because
Yep.
on Sunday gaming goes until 7. We're only shorting you 1 hour.
Yep.
And it's still $25. Try to find a cheaper field rate anywhere else.
Exactly.
And so what we're going to be doing for this is one of the options that we put in that survey was the lighting, because we get a lot of issues with lighting here. People say it's too dark.
Not an issues, it's a different.
A lot of complaints, I guess.
But then some people love it, so that's
yeah.
not-
Some people like it,
But
but
we should point out we're going to do it differently Saturday and Sunday. We're
Yes.
going to go different lighting.
Yeah. So if
There's-
you've been behind us, you can see the LEDs changing. That's a gripe that a pretty decent amount of our customer base has, is that it feels kind of cheesy, or it feels more arcadey, which some people actually like.
some people like exactly.
But what we're going to be doing for adult night is we're going to light this place up without the use of any lights on the ceiling. All lighting is going to come from ambient lighting on the field and from the buildings. So, for example, this one right here that we created. There's a reason why you didn't see it on Sunday's event fees, because I suck at checking where where
Yep,
packages
we'll tell
are
that
going.
story in a minute.
Yeah, but like for example, this is going
Oops.
to be on the power plant, and you know how there's 6 switches on the power plant, 3 outside and 3 inside.
it looks
video.
like.
James, just check the video real quick.
That's
It looks like-
awesome. And so those are going to be pointing up, and one of the games is going to be, paving a path for your bombers. And so Yeah, so that's on a 9.6 volt battery, so that'll be even brighter.
Right.
But so if you get all the switches in the on position and you can hold it there for 5 minutes, those lights will go on when they're all in the on position. They actually turn off and on. The players can control that. And if you have it more for 5 minutes, then you guys win. And so we're going to be doing stuff like that. Like every building is going to get a light. I know that we have a lot of complaints that people are just hanging out in really dark corners and just kind of being shitty with that. So I just try not to pay attention to what's going on to my right. But yeah, so the power, so the lighting is gonna be fantastic. No one's gonna thank you guys. So no one's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot more natural. It's gonna be a lot more natural lighting. And then actually on Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday we have more of a diverse player base. It's more pickup gaming. So we're gonna be using most likely the LEDs on those days. And then on Saturdays we found.
And that's where you want to come in and get like the cool. Like the flashing lights, the color changing, kind of like that more of like come in arcade feel. It's the day of like just easy pickup games, fun to go, and then on every third.
And then Sunday, yeah. So then every Sunday we're gonna be, we're gonna try it out. We're gonna start to we're gonna at least turn off or turn down the LED lights. And then, like I said, for adult night, we're going to have the LED lights off, unless you guys want to do a game. The adult night is actually going to be very crowd-based. Yeah. So we're just going to be like, you guys want to listen to music? You guys want to have it low, on, off? Like, we're going to be doing a lot of crowd, like the rules are set in stone, but like, for your experience, we're really going to be tailoring it to what you guys want. So it's going to be, it should be fantastic. Like if you don't like seeing the kids or you kind of crave a more intense kind of play style, like I'm allowed.
And we should mention that the games aren't going to just be capture the flag. They're going to be like almost event quality game missions where you really have to think about what you're doing.
Someone's stoked. Nick Paulino. They did it. They finally did it, and they shared our event. So
it's going to be a lot more strategy-based gaming.
The respawns
are going to be longer, so
they're going to be longer. Yes.
So that all lives matter.
Yes. Well, they always do. But one thing, like when you have the short of the respawn, it's kind of BS when you have this like really annoying constant flow of people coming back.
I mean, half the time when like 1 minute respawn, you get hit, you literally run back, touch the wall, and you're like, all right, and respawning again.
Yeah, and so by having like 1 minute and a half to 2 minute respawns, most likely 2 minute respawns, that actually gives you the chance to actually tactically move around the field and eliminate targets. Because nothing is worse when like when you clear like a corner of a field or really of anywhere, and you then you move your gun, and you work on something else, and then someone that should have never been in that area, who obviously only came from spawn, comes and shoots you in the back, and you're just like, You
only know I'm here because I just shot you.
Yeah, because they just shot you before. And so by having those 2 minutes, you really have the experience to actually tactically move on people and think about your movements.
Yep.
It's going to be fantastic, and I really hope that I'm not working all night.
I'm excited.
It's going to be huge.
I'm really hoping that I can play a few games that night.
And again, we should mention that right now we're starting with our FPS limit at 400 with .25s. All games will be semi-automatic.
Yes.
That is something worth noting, is that's why we can do the slightly higher FPS. And on that note, though, saws will be allowed. Saws will be the only weapons allowed to go fully automatic. They will be restricted
350.
to 350, 25 rounds a second, and they cannot shoot at an object within the same buildings themselves. This is adhering extremely similarly to Stag Ops Styles rules, as we all agree that it is a great rule set.
Yeah, and most
shout out to
game,
Cobalt and the rest of IROC.
Yeah, most Milsim games, like, no full auto indoors. And I know, like, some of you Milsim purists will be like, oh, well, in the Army, they send through the soft first.
I think even the purists just don't want pellets embedded in their face.
Yeah,
so,
and also, actually, on that note, for safety, we still need you guys to wear full face protection. That is, and we went over the insurance today before we posted this. We do need this, but at the very minimum, I need a mouth guard on you guys.
Yeah.
Like, something to cover your mouth, even if your lips are exposed and you just have one of those plastic mouth guards, something.
And I will tell you from personal experience, I have a fake tooth because there's a 200 FPS gun that shot me in the tooth from 15 feet away.
400 FPS, guys, and no minimum engagement distance. If you get schwacked in the face and you're bleeding profusely because someone 400 FPS shot you, I mean, we are hoping to see some safety kills, when appropriate.
Well, actually, I want to talk about safety kills. So finish what you're talking about with the mouse guard stuff.
So I mean, we still need foam seal So like Oakley M frames are cool. They've always been cool. Just make sure you have the Hilo kits. I know I'll complain about that too.
No,
I hate the Hilo kits.
Yeah, no,
James,
Vinny's
come on.
telling you that you're wrong, and I was waiting to tell you you're wrong as well.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
solid
going
film
for it.
code
that
first?
sounded pretty wrong.
Yeah,
Well, the
so
thing
when you
is,
said that, I was like, well, that's
one time I
totally
watched a
wrong.
combat video, and there was a guy, like actual military, and they sent the saw gunner first. He kicked down the door and just like pied the corner with his freaking 249. So I based that on a real military video. I'm not playing around, but I guess Vinny would have. Vinny.
He would know,
Yeah,
and
he would
you're
know.
not the expert.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But yeah. So on that note, like we're a little bit more lenient when it comes to safety gear, but once again, guys, you're adults. Be considerate of the fact and be aware of the fact that the FPS is up, and there's no safety kills. So I'm sure you're excited to wear less protective gear, but maybe
You're
shouldn't.
probably going to want it, yeah.
You're gonna want to wear it.
On the safety kills note, this is something totally worth mentioning, is safety kills are going to be treated in the same kind of way that, again, you would at a Milsim event. Is they're not required. At no point are they required, but we kind of do expect the level of respect that you see at the Milsim at games. If I come around a corner, at a Stag Ops event, an MSATO event, whatever, and there's a guy 2 inches away from me with a back turned, mate, I'm going to safety kill him anyway. It increases your tactical advantage.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And B, it's just a respectful thing to do. No one likes to
you
get
don't
shot
have
with 400
to.
FPS
No
point
way.
blank. It's just not fun.
No.
But on that note, like I said, we are starting at 400 with .25 so that I know a lot of you guys out there say, well, I have my outdoor gun that shoots at 380 FPS.
Yeah,
I'm
no one
not
has
going to
anything
buy a
illegal.
second gun to play indoors. I respect that. Totally makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Though we have one you should totally buy, just saying. But nonetheless, I totally get that, and the reason we're going to 400 FPS is so that everybody who plays is able to come down, including the older crowd who might not have an indoor gun.
Yeah.
We'll kind of see what the response is with that, and go from that point forward. Again, this night is going to be very crowd-derived. We'll go from no music to loud music to whatever you guys really want. And for the nods lovers out there, we will be playing some dark games.
Yes. So those games are just going to be like, there are a few tripping hazards on the field, so don't be sprinting through it. Actually, one person on the survey did say ban nods so it's fair at night.
No.
But like,
no. That'd be like banning polar stars.
But I mean, you guys, I listen to me because I actually know. Like, please, for the love of God, have some kind of protection on your nods. That glass will break the optics. Each optic is about $250 on each side, so that's $500 worth of optics. When it's up, you can get shot. When it's down, and then even worse, God forbid it, if the eyepiece gets shot, it can damage your image intensifier tube, and that's the most expensive part, sitting right at a healthy $1,000 to $200 depending on your unit. So if you're gonna bring night vision, be smart.
You have Lexan covers in here,
yes,
right?
I chopped up Lexan and made my own little fitments for it, and I do not ever take that off. I don't care if it makes it a little bit more clear. No way.
I'm right there with you.
Actually, and on the topic, kind of going back to the safety, is Fry. I always love it when he comments. If you haven't seen it, you should go back to the podcast that we had him on. He's always got some excellent input on anything airsoft related. And he actually shared a picture that with M frames, a BBX, even with the Hilo kit, it actually got into his face.
I fucking hate M frames. I
can't do it.
So that kind of just goes back. I mean, I'm sure he was just posting that to prove my point with the whole, like, just because we're allowing less protection doesn't mean you should be excited about it. Because just like that, I mean, the BB got in there. Let's see, he got hit in the cheek just under his eye from head on, 12 o'clock, and it bounced off his face and magically ended up inside his Hilo kit. It had lost a lot of energy, didn't even hurt that bad, and didn't touch his eye. But
It's something that happens.
I think it's something like a pellet, like 80 FPS, or something even less than that can puncture your eye. It doesn't take much at all. But returning back to the good side of Airsoft, is there anything else we want to? Actually, do you want to talk about what some of our lighting plans are? I know we talked about spreading the lighting, but like some of the ideas.
Yeah. So Des and I were on the field for about an hour today,
which is why the field looks like this right now, is we turned off all the LEDs that we don't want on for these Milsim type games.
Yeah, and so we went around and we were like thinking like what lights would be dope, and we have these. They're gonna be LED lights. So if you guys are really sticklers about seeing your natural kind of what would these be, like fluorescent lights? No, actually, fluorescent lights are more
Incandescent.
incandescent. Thank you. So if you're curious about that, you won't get that. A few structures on the field are lit up like that. But what I'm getting at is that, like on the field, we have the truck. We're going to be putting 2 spotlights in the truck's headlights. And they're going to be bright as shit and pointing directly in front of it. We have one of the new 2-story building that's in the middle of the field that we move around the lime green building. That is going to be a movie theater. So we're going to be putting a spotlight projecting onto one of the walls. We're also going to be putting theater-style lighting in there. So we're doing stuff like that. We have been thinking about putting spotlight styles in the middle tower that you can actually move around to help spot enemy players.
Well, and these are going to be in each of the corner of the jail too.
Yes.
You're like jail spotlights.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna have jail
and
spotlights.
they're a little bright, if you can tell from the camera here.
Yeah.
Or even from me just lighting up the field behind me, you can see what happens.
Yeah, and like what I mentioned earlier about the power plant, if all the switches are on, that turns on this light and another light, those exact ones actually, and that'll be part of a few game modes. So the lighting is going to be a lot more natural, because when you have lighting on the ceiling, like it implies, it gives you the feeling of a ceiling. Like there's a stop to the roof, or there is a roof in place. But by having lighting on the field, it makes the roof kind of disappear, which is going to be awesome. I mean, I don't know about you guys as you're playing Shadow Puppets. I love having conversations with myself on the camera. But
that's what this is, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be great. And Vinny said he wants to make the movie posters for the theater. I mean, Vinny, anything you want to do to help us out? And
he's right. No. We should put what do you call it? Like movie poster themed like event things, like the Zombieland one Vinny made forever ago. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And those should be posters on the wall.
Actually, and since Vinny's watching, one other thing we're going to be doing is
do
have
the Halloween game coming up too.
Yes, that'll be a good one. We should talk about that towards the end.
Yeah,
but we also have, I mean, if you've been here, you know that Grosso, he's got some really fantastic mini wieners. And we actually do have a building on the field. Probably the only building with a name on the new side of the field was Grosso's Mini Wienorama. It's just a hot dog stand with little hot dogs on it. But that one's going to get a light splashing around on that, so if you haven't already noticed, we'll make sure that you do. Let's see, I mean, there's just... I tallied up the lights. We're going to be adding 50 lights to our field. At least 50 lights, that's the maximum. We may be going more or less. We'll see how it kind of plays out. But every building is getting a light inside of it. We're going to have lights outside. We're going to be putting lighting, like LED strips on the side of it, on the side of some buildings to give it more of an effect. It's really going to feel different. And I think it's going to be great. Like, I mean, how many other CQ Bleed places do you know that are able to sufficiently light their field without the use of overhead lighting? So I think by having that, we will be the coolest airsoft place in the world if we aren't already are.
We should probably mention the requirements for adult night is 18 plus. You have to have a driver's or a form of state issued ID to show that.
Absolutely. No babies. If you're a little pussy, don't show up. And I'm not kidding.
Oh,
I don't want to hear it. Like, and I'm not trying to. I realize I'm coming off real aggressive right now.
You?
Like,
never.
No.
Wait. No, actually, this needs telling.
Got a spotlight Vinny. His wieners.
We're at a bar the other night, and the waitress was a little slow getting him his drink. And she's like, "Oh, is there anything you'd like?" And he goes, "I want my drink." That's just what he says. Just.
Okay, it was the day after my 21st, so it was a little.
He just goes, "I want my drink."
This is the day after my 21st, and believe it or not, I didn't have a fake ID in college. Well, I'm still in college, but before I was 21, so I don't know how the whole bar thing works. So it was just like, my drink. It was really bad. Like when she asked if we'd like any drinks, I had a water to start, and then I asked her what she recommended.
And then he couldn't make up his mind, and then he said, and then his response goes, "All right, I'll just have a beer." And then just stops talking, and the waitress is like, "What the
You guys as seasoned alcoholics over here are just looking at
I wouldn't say alcoholics, but I'd say gentlemen who enjoy drinking more than the average man.
But like I said, 18 plus for adult night. No alcoholic beverages
No
at this time.
alcohol.
Yeah. When I originally started, a few months ago, I'd actually pulled this out in one of the Airsoft groups, the Airsoft Classifieds, the one that David Lai runs. And I originally had mentioned the use of alcohol, and that was the community. Everyone was like,
"Shat on your soul.
Do not do alcohol," because people had some excellent points. As you get drunk, like you don't feel things as much.
Yeah.
And so you did like BB hits, first one, and then you're starting fights.
The only way it might happen in the future is if we did, as soon as you have a drink, you can't play anymore.
Yeah, like it's like BYOB,
Yeah, we
but
cut
once you
off-
crack open a
get
beer,
rid of
your
your
wristband
wristband.
gets cut.
Yeah, which I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But, well, that's down the road. We have to make sure the night actually works out well. But again, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
We already have, like, within an hour of putting it up,
I
we
think
have
like 20 people are going already.
Yeah, so we have some pretty good
Yeah,
responses
actually,
so far.
actually, before we went off on the tangent on how I suck at ordering drinks, so we're not going to be doing a rules video for this one.
Yeah.
One of us, I think it's going to be me. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Is going to be doing a verbal rules video. We're going to.
It'll be simplified. It'll be, we kind of expect. Obviously, we're more than welcome to new people coming, but a lot of the rules are kind of inherent airsoft rules, like
Bye,
no blind
Vinny.
firing.
Miss you.
Bye,
Love
Vinny.
you.
Bye, Vinny.
Peace. It's gonna be, the usual, like, no blind firing, so on and so forth. The verbal speech is gonna be more about the specifics of that night and the basic rules that have to do with our.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, because we did say like this is a mature night. We expect people to respect the game, to respect the honor systems, and most importantly, respect the other players.
Exactly.
So we're really hoping to see, like, if you turn a corner and both you pull the trigger, I want to see you guys shake hands and be like, good shot, let's both call it. Because
Right.
believe it or not, when you're shot with a bullet, you don't go down the first time, and usually you have adrenaline going through you. If you're
Possibly in the future.
yeah, if you're both entering a building, you got a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And I can't say I'm speaking from experience, but I played with Army medics who are trained this kind of thing, and he said, and he had the best viewpoint towards this, which is now what I've adopted, and is that people don't go down when they're first shot. Like he would say, like, I get it. Like, you can shoot someone and they will absolutely, they have their finger on the trigger, they might be able to squeeze off another shot right on you.
Or two.
Before they go, or two, exactly.
Yeah. Depends where you shoot them too.
Yeah, and then, like, plates,
Body
so I
armor,
get
yeah.
it. Like, kill trades happen in real life.
Yeah.
That is completely acceptable, and we're expecting to see you guys, like, shake it off.
Well-
no, like, oh, I shot you first. Like,
Yeah.
if you start a fight,
Especially
then-
speaking of modern warfare, not the game, as in, like, what's happening right now, is that's one of the issues they have with ISIS and such, is when they know they're going to go shooting, they dose up on, I don't remember what the drug was. I think it's a heroin base. Either way,
Probably.
basically they don't feel pain. They're saying they're putting bullets in these people that should put them down, and they just keep coming.
What, like bath salts?
No, not. You totally
Oh,
missed
I'm
the
sorry.
entire-
Yeah, he didn't
no,
even-
I'm a
First part
terrible
is-
listener.
I was saying that's an
Yeah,
issue they're
actual
having in the Middle
warfare.
East right now. Is like a lot of people in ISIS, they'll
They're, like,
drug up
literally
hard,
doping up. Yeah.
and they'll just take shots
That's ridiculous.
and keep going and get back up, and because they're just
Yeah.
their brain just isn't feeling the pain.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is this guy in Florida. He did some like crazy bath salts. I don't even know what he was on. It was like next world. And he was like eating someone like in the middle of a street, like literally like something out of like a zombie movie.
I think I
and-
remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And so I may be butchering the eating part, but he was doing something like really disgusting, like eating an animal or something in the middle of the street. So police showed up and he started like walking towards them, like all like zaned out. And they had hollow points in their bullets, in their guns. Like they were gonna shoot him to kill. They said like stand down, don't walk. And of course he didn't. He's like, literally like, frothing from the mouth. He's walking towards them. They shoot him once in the chest with a hollow point. He stumbles. And if you guys don't know how hollow point works, they're meant to enter your body and not leave.
And basically explode.
Yeah,
they
shred.
tear themselves apart and tear everything in their path.
Do as much
Usually-
damage as possible to the internal.
Usually you're dead after one shot, like
Yeah.
straight up, 9mm. They shoot him again. He stumbles to his knees.
No, I remember
He
this.
gets back up. They shoot him a third time. He falls down, and he starts crawling with 3 hollow points in his chest. Like, do you know how insane that is? Like, oh my god! Like, none of his organs must have been connected at that point. Like,
Yeah, but
oh,
brain and
man.
nervous system's still going, so.
Yeah, it's oh my god, it's just crazy. So like what we were saying, like
Yeah.
the fact that they're doping up and doing
yeah, but
this.
trade kills happen.
Yeah, so-
the long and short of it is
I feel as long as like it's within a reasonable
I hate the I shot you 0.016 seconds earlier.
Yeah.
No.
There's a
This
reasonable
isn't laser tag.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's reasonable, and then there's like if you turn the corner, some guy shoots you, and then you're like, oh, turn, shoot, and it's like
Right. No, it just reminded me of something I wanted to say. But that's one of the big things we're doing
Yeah.
with lighting is none of us like when people camp. Most people don't like when people camp.
lame.
Ryan. Just shooting shots fired at coworkers. Sorry. No. So But part of our new lights, like these spotlights, if we see that there's a corner people are camping in all the time, we're just going to aim the lights at those corners so you can't camp.
Yeah.
Especially,
actually, you can continue.
I was going to say, especially the 18 plus nights, we want flow here, not you can camp in a corner.
And also, we have a comment on YouTube. And he said, like, I like the dark, it helps you sneak around. We're still going to leave darker areas.
Right.
That'll allow you to sneak around.
Which is why people wonder why we don't just turn the maintenance lights on. And actually, I want to talk about that a bit, because we've had a lot of requests for us just to turn the maintenance lights on and play like that. And there's two big reasons we don't. First, with the maintenance lights on, it really feels like you're just playing in a big warehouse. Because your brain can see the ceiling.
Yeah.
When we turn all of the ceiling lights off, the field feels way bigger, and it's more fun to play on. We're trying to really go through that you're running through a town feel. The other side of it is when it's just so bright, all the engagements are happening literally across the field.
Yeah, because you
can see someone so far, and trust me, the gameplay is way less fun. The night makes it, and I know people get a little frustrated with the night sometimes because they think people aren't calling hits. Trust me, the gameplay is so much more fun, and this is coming from a personal level where I've played on both significantly. It's so much more fun with the lights off because it gives you the option to move stealthily. It gives you the option to take shots or not take shots. Like, you don't always have to shoot when you see someone.
Like, you can run across a firing line and feasibly make it to the other end.
Exactly, stuff like that.
But with the lights on, there's no way in hell you're getting it through.
One of the best things it does, and this is just me going to the higher level of play here, is you can use shadows and stuff to your advantage. You have to be aware of where a light is being casted, and if you're going to cast a shadow before you come around a corner. You know how often I use that?
I'll be sitting on a corner,
see the shadow come up,
and I'll wait for the shadow. And when I see the shadow, I'll put my gun right up.
And that happens right over here. Like in the S building, the power light is right there, so you can see people getting into the doorway to sack up to go to breach the small building over here, and I can see them on the ground. I'm like, fools!
Yeah, like I know it. Like, I literally know when you're coming at me. Like I can. It's like wall hacks. It's wall hacks for people with a brain.
No, exactly, but it's sound pouring like we discussed previously.
Yeah.
But when the maintenance lights are on and all the light is coming from directly above, all that goes away. It's a lower level of play, in my opinion. With the maintenance lights.
There's less skill
adult night. If you guys want,
but if you want that, we'll do it. But I'll tell you, definitely wait to see how it looks with all the new lights. It's going to be so worth it.
The lighting is the light. It's just going to be great. Like I don't just going through the field with Des today. Like I haven't been this excited about something that we're doing here. In a while. Like I know, like I was really excited about the event last weekend, which
should talk about that
was
a
great
too.
Yeah, which was great. But like this is like what I'm really excited about because it's something that we can continue to do. And actually, if you guys went to the event last weekend, it was fantastic. Halfway through the day, people started to leave and the teams became unbalanced, and there was the whole, hit calling issue because one team would start losing and then they'd start crying wolf with hit calling. And I get it,
the
like
escalation of issues.
Yeah, and then it just started to escalate. And so what I did was I turned on the lights. We turned on the maintenance lights, and I said, "Listen, guys, I've had 5 people come up to me after that game talk about hit calling issues. You guys want to talk about hit calling issues? We're turning on the lights." So I turned on the lights for about an hour and a half worth of gaming. And the issues went away.
Right.
Because they realized that it wasn't that fun.
Right.
Because I was acting like, "Oh, how the games?" They're like, "Yeah, it's all right." I'm like, "Are there hit calling issues?" And they said no.
But it's just more fun when you can maneuver.
Yeah.
You can maneuver.
And then,
hence the field feels bigger.
Exactly. And then the first game that I turned the lights back off because the players were behaving themselves, they said that was the most fun game they've played all day. That was a switch game on and off.
Yep.
They said everyone was calling their hits. It was extremely intense.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like a reality check. Like, all right, guys, lights are on. Let's play this game.
Yeah, it's reminding me you're being stupid.
Dean goes, "I heard that when we were talking about the camping thing."
Yeah, right.
But actually, and probably one of my favorite missions. I'm not sure everybody even picked up on it, but we played a little. What?
Just like YouTube.
But when we did the last mission is. Do you want to? I'm sorry, that's just funny. Do you want to explain what we did for the last mission?
Yes. So the last mission. So
I'll talk about the audio stuff after.
Okay. Oh, that was insane.
I love that.
It
was Lenny's idea. I have to say, it was Lenny's idea.
Okay.
But
so the last game, as you can imagine, how World War II ended for the Pacific Theater was we dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan. And so the very last mission, it wasn't worth any points. I lied. I told you guys it was worth, it was worth a set amount of points. I wasn't telling you until the end. But it wasn't worth points because we kind of knew the Japanese were going to lose. It was a little bit quicker.
We very knew the Japanese.
It was a little bit quicker than we expected, to be honest. But what we did was, it was a game attack and defend. And you know how I'll do it like this, how our field is set up like a U. This being far side, near side, far side. Actually, yeah, pull that up. And we'll put it there. So we had the American team starting from both of the regular respawns, and we set the Japanese team with full auto, no respawns, with their back against the wall. And each side of the field, the United States were pushing up these 30 to 50 pound bombs, one on each side, with nuclear systems on them. They were huge. They're absolutely huge bombs. And so I told the American team, it is up to you guys to figure out which side of the field you're on. Because once you're on one side of the field, you can't exit to go to the other side's respawn. And I also told the Japanese team, I gave them some tips on where to set up their firing lanes to better defend themselves. And the same thing for America. I told them where some good places to go would be. And then I said, divide amongst yourselves. You have saw gunners on each team. Use them to your advantage.
Right. So to be clear, the Japanese were set up here, where I'm showing in the video right at the moment. And the U.S. were attacking from both here and here. The U.S. had semi-automatic only. These guys, as you mentioned, had fully automatic.
Yeah. And so when the bombs went off, we had 2 EG-18Xs. And we don't allow smoke grenades, but for this, we decided for theatrics.
Yeah, exactly.
So when the bomb went off, I was on the field and I handled the smoke grenade. So when the United States got it, it was instant. The second that bomb went off, they got in there, it went off.
Yep, and so they needed to get it into this building here and this building here were the 2 bombs they needed to hit.
Yes, and so when those went off, I would pull the smoke grenade and throw it in that building, and the whole building would just engulf in smoke and everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then when the bombs went off...
So, at the very beginning, I'm not sure many players picked up on this, but I loved it. I know a couple did because I commented on it. Is in the countdown prior to the game starting, before we start playing the game start tune, I played Truman's warning to Japan that they should surrender.
And it was bone chilling.
Yeah, no, he delivers his speeches in the most bone chilling, epic sounding.
So that was happening when the game started, right?
Right before the game started. So the game started, the 10-9 whatever.
Spot on.
Started the second that speech ended.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So then they played, and when the first bomb was dropped, I played Truman's speech about the bombing of Hiroshima, which is another 90-second speech.
That was bone chilling. I was on the field for that. So when that went off, we radioed into Des that the first bomb went off, and then Des started playing that. And just being on the field with the smoke coming off, I don't really get immersed into anything when I'm indoors. But I was kind of getting a little tingly, and I wasn't even playing.
And he was we have dropped a bomb with the equivalent of 40,000.
No music, just his voice,
exactly.
and even just talking about it, I'm getting chills remembering it. It was crazy because I've never felt that kind of emotion.
We're trying to really push that kind of immersion in future games. And then when the second bomb dropped, I played his reading of the unconditional surrender from Japan.
That was crazy, yeah.
So we're trying to play a little more into the audio and fun stuff like that.
It was a fantastic day.
It's the small things that really.
It was the small things that really made a huge difference.
Yeah.
But we'll be using those bombs as game
props for now.
Yeah, as props for game mode. So if you guys ever want to play Bomb Plant with a bomb that's oddly shaped like a Coca-Cola recycling bottle,
or one that's shaped like a pool filter.
Yeah, or one that's shaped like a pool filter, then just let us know. We now have 3 bombs with nuclear symbols on them. They're all heavy and awkward in their own way to carry.
Yep.
So it's going to be great.
Do we want to talk about any of the audio stuff we want to do in the field that we were talking about?
Yes. So don't expect to see this for adult night. We are.
This will happen eventually.
We're promising the lighting. We're promising the lighting for adult night. But if you don't see it for adult night, you're going to see it happen for the August 8 event. And we're moving the same thing with the whole lighting from the buildings. Are moving more towards the that realistic effect.
Theatrics.
So, yeah, the theatrics side of things. Cool. So a good example would be the train station on the field. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be every minute and a half, we're just gonna have a speaker in there that plays a whistle or a train
sound.
Yeah, a train sound
or a speaker coming out of the truck playing like a
like a muffler,
an idling engine.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not really gonna add much for gameplay, but to the experience it should add
exactly
small things you go to Disney World, Danielle had mentioned.
Yep.
And you go to Disney and you just walk by and they're playing sound effects from all the buildings.
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's awesome. So,
So,
we're
yeah.
going to start doing stuff like
So
that.
yeah, let us know what you guys think about stuff like that. We should probably get into the product spotlight since we rambled on about Adult Night for like
Forever.
45
I mean,
minutes.
it deserves
Yeah,
it.
it did. It really did.
does.
So, this gun we're presenting today is, these guys will tell you, one of my favorite guns.
He doesn't shut up about it.
Literally,
Yeah.
I have struggled trying to keep myself from buying this gun.
When I suggested this, he was like, he
Yep.
was in it. He was
So,
in.
this is the Elite Force Umarex gas blowback UMP Elite. Nice thing about this is it is a true Elite. It has a 1-year warranty. It has adjustable FPS. And my God, it is the best trigger pull and kick of any submachine gun in the market.
It's so
and
soft.
you can get through like 2 magazines worth of pellets on one gas
Yeah.
charge. And something like that, and it's just, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely,
Just because, once again, I love this. Is
You can HK slap it.
yeah, you can actually do that. So the semi is crazy crisp, just a. Oh, I should hold bit release. So just a.
Oh,
And
wow.
on top of semi and full auto, it also has a 2-round burst. And to give you guys an idea of rate of
That's
fire,
nice.
is just listen to this. That's 2 rounds. And you can just, it's not cooling down, it's not slowing down, and just, you can just see, actually, I want to go a little closer, just to show you how much kick this thing has.
yeah,
Because it's
it's
so
ball.
light.
Is this in focus, Stan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
So, and this is me holding it pretty firmly against my shoulder.
Don't shoot with your middle finger. Stop it.
Ah!
Stop it.
Twiggle.
This is pressed pretty firmly against my shoulder, just for give you reference.
Oh,
It's,
The gas coming out of the side.
it just kicks so great.
it just feels fantastic.
But yeah, we have some videos to play of it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something you pay. Watch out, because this might be going up a video of this in the next, few weeks. Yeah, this thing's just so cool. But there's the cool aspect, like Des said, is you could you can adjust the FPS. So what you do is you pull out the rear pin, you pretty much pull out the lower from the gun, and well, you want to do it here. But you can see on the bolt there are 2 Allen keys that you can like unscrew, and you can move around the slider, so it'll adjust FPS to whatever setting you really want within reason. But like it's just it's like that's a cool feature. Like for $300 flat out, it's like you think about the KWA MP7, where you're already kind of spending $250, and then you have to spend an extra, $40 to get the low power bolt. And that's just more work and time you just kind of don't want to put into something. The UMP, you don't have to keep changing the bolt if you decide you're going indoors or outdoors. You just pop out the pin, pull out the lower, adjust the FPS, and you're good to go. This thing is just it's just really fantastic. The rails are metal, really good cut on them actually. Maybe they're not. But they're not, actually. I thought they were, but they're just a really nice plastic, I think. Either way, they feel fantastic. The weight of this thing, you could run around with this thing forever and never have a problem with it. Stock pulls to the side, but nothing wobbles on the thing. Nothing wobbles at all.
1-year warranty
There's
on
no
it.
sound. And it has
Yeah, I
the
mentioned
1-year
that one.
warranty. It has replacement parts. It has rebuild kits for the magazine
Best part
and
about
for the
Umarex.
assembly, which is awesome.
Now, one thing I don't know for this about sure. That was a terrible sentence. I think I spoke for something.
It sounds like something I would say.
I know. I don't know for sure about this, but I know when VSC started announcing their gas blowback guns about 3 or 4 years ago, they mentioned all their gas blowback guns were going to take AEG barrels. I cannot confirm nor deny whether that is the case on this one.
The interesting thing about the VFC gas blowbacks, I'm 99% sure that's made by VFC.
It is.
It is.
I'm 100% sure. it's
Okay,
I am 100, yes.
I know these things. I'm only the guy who orders
No,
them.
it's our product spotlight.
Yeah, product spotlight. Jeez, we're just a bunch of goons.
Oh,
But
yes!
getting to the point of the barrels is that VFC has. If you ever take apart a VFC barrel, or at least the gas blowback ones, the way that they cut the hop-up windows and such is that it is compatible. With their gas blowback guns. So a
Right.
normal AEG barrel is not compatible with a VFC gas blowback, but a VFC gas blowback barrel is compatible with a regular AEG gun because they use the same barrels.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to take it apart to really show you guys what I'm talking about. But it is a cool little thing, yeah.
In short,
This
it's
thing's nice.
and I've gone on and on about these guns, this
Yeah.
gun to these guys.
This
Did
thing
you
is
get to
awesome.
shoot it, James, when we were in the shooting booth?
No, but I've shot it before.
Oh yeah, you're shooting it
Yeah.
when we're done this cast.
Okay,
It's,
I won't argue that one.
and you're gonna want to buy it. That's
It's
the worst
cool.
part. Every time I shoot it, I'm like, I need to
He
not.
was
I
really-
need to not.
Today
buy
he was
this.
really hard pressed. He was just like, he's like,
It's one of those things. I love playing CQB with gas blowback guns. 'Cause
yes.
Every shot, every kill is that
it
much
feels
more gratifying.
satisfactory, yeah.
Maybe for adult night.
I like that the valve, the fill valve was kind of recessed, like how the UMP base plate's kind of like flared out. It's kind of nice that it's recessed. Like
Yeah,
it
it looks
sucks on
like
high,
you can
it sucks on
actually
high
drop it,
cap
too.
mags because you're trying to wind. You're just like, dear God, why is this wheel so
I'll
small?
admit the UMP high cap
caps
mags are just sadly designed.
I was just like, just stop. I don't even
buy a
want anything to
mid-cap.
do with you. Buy a mid cap. Save yourself the trouble. If you want a gas blowback that can, I mean, these things are incredibly gas efficient. You could adjust the FPS, all legit trades, and if you want something that's better,
Oh my god.
that they were like, you know what? Do you guys like MP5s? I don't know. They were like, hey,
I like
we need to make the
MP5s.
MP5 better, and so that's pretty much. I mean, that was what Agent K. They were like, well, the MP5 is cool, but we need to make it better. And so
That's
that's
45 version of it. So I'd take
45.
that over Chris Vector in the real world.
The Chris Vector's recoil system, though.
Yeah, and people say when you shoot it, you end up like going. It's literally like the same problem, but you go down instead of up.
So they over-engineered a gun.
Basic. It's just in the Chris Vector. I don't know. At least with the Airsoft one, it is just not a comfortable gun, in my opinion. There's like no good way to hold it.
It's balanced, but in the wrong way.
Right.
Your center of mass is in the center, but all of the mass is condensed to the center.
Right.
So when you're holding it in between your hands, all of the mass is in between your hands, and a good weighted gun
It's
should be
further, yeah.
an evenly dispersed load. But in this, it's more like a point load that's right here in
Yeah.
your middle, and it's comfortable. I mean, it's really cool to shoot, but you know, it doesn't really give you much.
If I were in a
for holding it for
situation where I
while.
had to go from target to target, I'd take this.
Are we still in the same?
We're still in the
gas
same
tank?
magazine.
What the fuck?
Like, this thing is incredible.
Wow,
Yeah.
I thought you guys have been like filling it up.
No. hold the bolt release. Gas
What?
blowback. Remember?
Where is it?
Same place it is on every.
on an
Wait,
M4.
what the fuck? Where the fuck
It has a
is
bolt release on the end, like it's an M4. So that's
yeah.
awesome because that's
Still
familiar.
kicking. I'm gonna stop shooting it.
That's
'cause
what I
don't
liked
need
about.
one.
So
I don't need to buy one.
Right. The second you
Don't
shoot
need it.
one, you're just like,
so like
it's so good.
the good
Don't
thing
need to
is
be worried
the
about
review I
marketing.
did like we compared MP7s to KWA
Stop
versus
it.
the VFC. The VFC MP7 the blowback on it was just really solid.
They use
It
a
was
really similar
good.
gas system.
Yeah,
too.
it's so. I don't know. It's just really fantastic.
I don't know
All
how
of
to
their
des-
guns.
I don't know how to describe it other than it's just right.
Yeah, it's what
The
it's
prices,
what you
too.
want. The
Yeah.
price.
You guys
for-
mentioned
it's
the
like
price.
$300.
$300. At least
1
here
year
at our
warranty.
store. 1 year warranty.
1 year warranty on a gas blowback gun just doesn't happen.
That's
yeah,
not a
honestly,
thing.
I think Elite Force was doing some drugs when they're like, yeah, 1 year warranty on that one. We're
But it
all
holds
good,
up.
yeah.
We sold a few
Yeah.
of these now.
But like
and
VFC,
they hold up.
VFC gas blowbacks are awesome. Like some customer, I think it was a weekend ago or 2 weekends
funny
ago,
thing is they used
they
to
brought in a VFC Scar Heavy, and that was the most recoil I've ever
Oh,
felt.
God, yeah.
Like the thing, I was like chronoing it. I was like, "Poof,
Oh yeah.
what just happened? But like, it's always really crisp, solid. VFC just knows what they're doing.
And
Oh.
again, that's what I love about the whole Umrex situation. Is VSC used to have such small sales, and it's still the same mag. Can you believe that?
That's insane.
Probably should
There we
stop
go.
now.
Yeah, people are probably
She's
closing
giving up.
because of the audio.
But no, is VSC used to have such a low quantity of sales that they didn't come out with new stuff too often because they didn't have the R&D money. And then when Umrex was like, yeah, we're gonna make half our guns VFC and sell a shitload of them, all of a sudden VFC was like, check out this new product, check out this new product,
Yeah, they're-
check out this
yeah.
R&D.
It's always something.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. The
Umrex has, I mean,
Kills it.
I mean, I know as the manager, I shouldn't be like, favoring one company. I mean, I can do whatever I want, really. But, I mean, Umarex, in my opinion, there are some great airsoft companies out there that I do love many, but I'm sorry, Umarex takes the cake for me. For me, as a manager, ease of
as
purchasing. As a store and as a manager,
store and product.
Yeah, and like on the customer end, it's so easy for everyone. It's easy for me. Umarex will handle their customer support is fantastic. Their warranties are fantastic. They back up their guns. They back up the stores. I plug them any chance I get because they're so great.
Right, and this example
is a perfect relationship.
And for anyone in the industry that might be listening to this is a perfect example of why we love Umarex and why we're frustrated with Crytek, because Umarex is all about backing up the customer. Crytek's all about backing up e-bike. It's different. It's why we'll always support Umarex.
Yeah,
Crytek comes out with some cool stuff like that Chris they're coming out with, but
like Crytek's are awesome.
I mean, I'm still gonna get a couple Chris's in it.
I mean, of course.
I'm gonna have to like really swallow my pride, hit and check out on that one. But I mean, they're Chris vectors. I have to bring them in. They're awesome.
That's true.
So speaking of R&D and Airsoft though, and kind of that stuff, I want to talk and finish up the stream the last like 25 minutes or so. With some of the like quirky things we've seen in Airsoft, and viewers, chime in below with some things you've seen yourself, because there's some funny ones out there. I mean, I figure we should each talk about, we'll just keep going around robin until we stop, but one of my favorites that I thought was an awesome idea, but God, it just never caught on, was the ICS split gearbox.
Yeah.
I thought it was an awesome idea. I loved because I like dual uppers, and I love the idea of you build one lower that's just really good, and you pop on your high FPS up or whatever. And I also love the idea, you're like, I stripped my piston. Let me just pop this upper off and I'll throw my backup on and I'll fix the piston later.
Like that's
rather than let me field strip my gun in the middle of this op.
Yeah. Like that was super cool. And I always I saw about when I first started playing, I heard like ICS split gearboxes. I was like, you can change the FPS.
Comes broken? No.
Like I thought that was an incredible thing, but like I don't know, just nobody else really did that.
No, it just never caught on. Why do you think it didn't catch on? I have my own opinions. I want to see what you say.
Why don't you think it did catch on?
Why it didn't
catch on?
Yeah. I mean, I know they still do it, but like it just never became a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like one of those things where everyone was like, yes, MOSFETs. Like MOSFETs, everyone's like, now all of our guns have MOSFETs.
That's kind of a buzzword.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can tell you my gripes with it.
Exactly.
And so you take apart an ICS gun, and the nice thing about the Sistema, I mean, this is almost apples and oranges, but the Sistema gearbox is all covered. The only thing popping out of that thing is the sector gear that pulls the piston back. But with the ICS split gearbox, you look into it and you can see your whole gear train. That leaves a lot of space.
I open up my Corolla's hood and it has 4 cylinders. I'm like, why doesn't it have the V12 my Ferrari has? That's basically what you're saying.
No.
Like,
this is something that's very easily designed. I'm terrible with comparisons, but I think I have some ground to stand on here. Is that you can open it up and look at all of the gears, and that leaves so much space for gunk and other stuff to get into your gearbox. And the only reason why I'm saying the Sistema is because it's the only system I can really compare it to off the top of my head. But everything, the Katana, I guess. But actually, the Katana like that. We'll talk about why that one didn't catch on. I got a few things to say about that one.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like you just look at it and you're just like, wow, I could literally throw pebbles in here.
Well, to be fair, your gearbox isn't open when you're on the field. It does seal pretty tightly, at least the later generation ones. And that's what I was going to say, is the early generation ones, there was kind of a bit of a gap there, and I wasn't worried about stuff getting into your gearbox. The issue is that the engagement of the gear engagement to the piston wasn't consistent. It just had a little bit of movement, but that was enough to kind of reduce the longevity of the system. But I think what really happened is they came out with this system. They probably thought it was great. From a mechanical engineering perspective, I thought it was great. I mean, obviously I wasn't back then, but I still had the same mindset. I think a lot of players saw it as it was the first real 2-second quick change spring that was accessible to the masses. Yeah, Sistema had it for a while, but a $2,000 gun.
Yeah, accessible to the masses. I get
exactly.
it. Like I 100% understand.
Right, it was the first one you could go pick up a $150 gun, pick up a $40 gearbox upper, pass chrono, and throw in a 500 FPS gearbox upper. and there'd be really no way to manage that. And I think they did it, and they saw all the hate ICS got for it.
Yeah.
Because of the fact it was a way to cheat chrono. My personal belief, A, ban the player, not the system.
Yeah.
B,
They're
if people want to
abusing
cheat chrono, there's so many ways.
There's a bunch
to
of
cheat
ways.
chrono.
Turn your hop up all the way out.
Like we're not going to discuss the ways to cheat chrono.
Yeah, but like locks keep honest people honest.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Lock honest
exactly.
people out. You know, like it's if there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. So, and I don't think this system introduced really that much more of a new concept. But I think a lot of companies said, "Oh, that was a good idea," except they just got hated on for it, and that's a lot of R&D to
Yeah,
just
they're
have
like,
people hate it. So,
no.
so that's I think that's a part of the reason.
Probably.
Maybe not the whole reason, but part of the reason it never really caught on.
Yeah, really. Yeah. makes
So,
sense.
do you want to talk about the katana?
Yeah.
Oh
and then
yeah, so the Wii Katana.
Yeah.
So that is
I had never.
Actually, you know what?
I
I'm
knew
gonna pull up
nothing.
what the katana is because I was so excited for this system
I
when they
had no
initially
idea.
announced it.
I had
I was
heard
really
about-
excited for it.
I had heard people like talk
Well-
about katanas before, but like I never I didn't know.
Also,
No.
actually, one quick second. Let me
Sure.
explain why I was so excited for this. Is they released their first AEG, the M4A1 Navy SEAL edition. We had those as rental guns. And we literally had rental guns we did not have to repair for like 18 months. That doesn't happen.
No, never.
And that was their first edition AEG.
Right.
yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is, as time went by, they got lower quality. Their first edition ones, basically, they built the AEG like a gas blowback. So
Yeah.
everything was designed to
Reinforced.
handle this crazy recoil, and when there wasn't there, the guns just lasted forever. And then as time went by, they realized they could make it a lot cheaper, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they released
Weird.
they released the M4A1, and then they said, here's our cool katana system. And I said, holy fuck, if they made their first try at an AEG this good, imagine what they could do with this new system.
Yeah.
And imagine how great it would be for rental guns if we could say, oh, there's a strip piston. Throw in another one. Because it's it's kind of split gearbox design. But let me pull one up as James explains his gripes.
So
it's similar to like a PTW in a way.
So
Like,
it takes PTW
Well, that's the issue.
mag.
It's similar, but not similar enough.
Yeah, so it takes PTW mags. The cylinders are a bit different. Still uses a planetary gear system. Slightly different size motor, I'm almost certain. But
I think it uses a regular AEG motor.
yeah, and so you know, you're looking at it, you think it's a
you hear
Stella,
the
and-
discontent in his voice. Like, yeah. So.
Yeah, so let me see this thing. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah. So actually, it doesn't use a planetary gear system. It uses the version 2.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that was it. It was that's why I thought it was cool. It's compatible with regular version 2 gears, which is why I liked it over the planetary gear system. And it was compatible with version 2. It was supposed to be compatible with version 2 cylinders. It wasn't in the end.
Yeah,
but standard motor, standard gears, standard shuttle. It was a version 2 gearbox on the bottom, and then
But
the
a
top was
PTW.
special.
Yeah, it was.
So that's why I was so excited. Can you understand why I was excited for this as a
you
tech?
think it would be
Well, it
fantastic.
Right.
It sounds like a great
It's literally
But,
like the best
but-
of every system.
In
Yes.
practice,
In
not
practice,
so
it was so
not so
disappointing.
much. So one of my teammates, you know, like it was actually funny at the night game. SOS Milsim could tell it was us because we had PTWs. Yeah, like one of us would shoot, and he'd be like, "Yep, that's Durka." Like you'd hear him talking, like, "Yep, Durka's in there. Let's go get him." And I was like, and then they're like, "Yeah, I can hear the PTWs." You know, you can hear them talking to each
Right.
other, and we're just
Yeah.
like, "Fuck." Anyways, so one of my teammates, he wasn't financially in a spot to get a PTW. I get it. You know, we're not going to rip on them. That's a very big investment. So he found a Wii Katana on eBay. It was on sale for like $120, and it came with an extra mag. And I was like, and I told him, I'm like, dude, there's no other reason that they're selling it for that price other than it's a piece of shit.
That too.
It's a pile of flaming shit. And I told him, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Like, buy it.
Is this the same one who got the A&K one?
Actually,
yeah,
no, it wasn't an A&K. No,
You told me this exact same story, and that you told me it was an A&K PTW.
I'm curious
Was it
about
A&K?
We'll talk about that.
I'm
can we talk
curious
the
about the
A&K too?
legitimacy of James's stories now, though.
Wait,
Yeah,
are you making me
questioning-
second guess myself?
I am actually, in
I
fact.
would have to look.
I'm curious
because I
about the
don't wanna tell
A&K
story.
PTWs.
Oh well, and if that's the case, then let me get started on that. But the Wii Katana, I mean,
So basically, the issue. Okay, I'll kind of talk about some of the issues from a
Yeah.
teching perspective. Is that it was extremely similar to the Sistema systems, but not close enough that you could use Sistema parts.
Yeah. Ooh.
And they didn't back it up with enough like repair parts or backup parts or upgrade
So
parts.
there's no support.
So like sometimes something would be broken, you'd almost have to buy a new gun to replace it, which was issue 1. Issue 2 is that their whole spring nozzle system, which is the same as a PTW, just didn't work well. It wouldn't feed mags at high speed, yada yada yada. It did feed regular AEG magazines though, which is, you were probably thinking of the A&K system.
Wait. So the Wii Katana uses
Regular M4 magazine.
Okay, then I'm very incorrect with my I do apologize to everyone watching.
But it did have its issues. Is again the whole cylinder system up top would fail frequently. The M4 gearbox shell, though very well reinforced, if it did fail, it was impossible to find a replacement. So the system had a lot of potential, and had they backed it up better, I think it really could have been great. But it's kind of the same issue that happened with the KWA Chris Vector. They came out with a great gun and then they just didn't back it up.
And then when it broke, you were just
shit out of luck. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, you need a new magazine? That's $95.
Yeah, it's like
buying a supercar. The price goes up after you buy it.
Yeah. Stop it.
But this is one of my biggest disappointments in Airsoft. I was so obsessed, so excited for this system to come out. I was like, I'm totally gonna buy one. And on top of that, they looked so good. Oh, that was it. The Raptor. This was the first one they released. It was a good-looking gun.
Oh.
And this retailed. Guess what it retailed for?
Was it like 150?
Okay, it was 210.
210?
But full metal rail system, split gearbox design, full metal upper lower receiver.
Yeah, for 210, like back. When was it like first announced?
This was 2000, I'd say 14 that it got released. I want to say. Let's see what it goes for nowadays.
I mean, what you're paying for is not really.
I can't even find it.
Good.
Let's see. Nowadays, I don't really want to pull it, but let's see. It's probably out of stock.
Wait, no, it says red cylinder.
Nowadays, it goes for 400.
What?
Holy shit! Yeah. All right, but it's out of stock. They basically don't make it anymore. That's the thing. But is there any systems you want to talk about? Things you've spent in Airsoft?
Like,
that have been
I don't know.
laughable?
Like, I had heard about the A&K. Like, it wasn't just.
Yeah, we can talk about that one.
Yeah.
The A&K PTW.
Okay. So
Yeah, because I knew that.
Because
There's only having one in the back.
From what you described, I'm sure it's.
It takes a 7 mag, so it must have been that. So I'm incorrect with my gripes with the Wii Katana.
But he's not wrong in terms of it was still a disappointment to the
Yeah,
so I guess I just got lucky with my mistake there. But the A&K PTW, the Celsius CTW is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing is garbage. So I'm sorry, it was that he got $120 for that, and I told him, don't get it.
If this is a PTW for less than $400, and even that's low.
That's a price for like a lower, like.
Well, I was thinking like used even. So exactly. My point is, if there's one for a very low price like that, there is a reason.
700, like basically, unless it's pre-2007, $700 and less for a PTW with more than 2 mags is like.
That's what I.
You really should enter it with extreme caution.
So then what went? I mean, obviously, if a price point is like
wrong?
that, obviously a lot could go wrong.
Yeah.
So he just.
It's not what you're paying for.
I'm sure it became the what didn't go wrong.
Yeah, so we're on the field. So on the field, and I mean, it at first it sounded nice. At first I was kind of impressed, like, yeah, dude, that sounds pretty baller. But the first day he was using it, the first freaking day, this was at the most recent Breaking Bad, I think 3. We were in the middle of the field, we were having an engagement, and his BB just started rolling out the barrel. And I'm just like,
what?
Oh, like, what'd you do? Like, did you like strip your piston or something like that? Like, maybe you're not getting enough, like,
compression.
Compression, something like that. So I look at it, and I open it up real quick. I'm pulling the trigger, like the gears are moving fine. I look at the cylinder, the piston teeth that I can see are fine. And so I put it back in, and I just pull the trigger, and his stock was getting loose. So I'm like, whatever, like that's lame. And so I was pulling the trigger, and then I realized that due to the recoil, the metal was so cheap that there's a reason that the stock was moving around. And the cylinder, as the second was pulling it back, the cylinder was moving in the upper receiver of the gun, and it had worn down after 1 day of use. And like I was like, and I tried to tighten up the
Castle nut.
to try to fix that, but it wasn't. Like it was like even after I got it pretty hand tight, I could still move it back and forth a solid like centimeter.
Yeah.
Which is enough to make the whole thing completely pointless. And I'm like, dude, this thing is trash. You need to buy like a new upper receiver now. And he was like, are you kidding me? And I just gave him my pistol and like 2 extra mags. And I'm like, you're gonna have to use this until we get back to spawn. And I told him, I was like, dude, remember when I said don't buy one of those?
Right.
Do you remember when I said don't spend that money and just save it and put it towards like 4 PTW mags?
Right.
You know, like, and it was bad. It was bad.
Shit happens.
And so the thing with CTWs is they're not good until they're more Sistema than they are A and K. You end up replacing it with Sistema parts because they are Sistema compatible.
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of one of those things like with like, you know, the V12. Like, you know, if you can, just save up for the real thing.
Exactly. No, it's
You're gonna get
right.
a lot out of it. Which, just saying, tomorrow there's a review.
Oh yeah.
A very American one, since this is America's
very
birthday.
American.
The flags are
I
up.
figured.
Yeah, happy 4th of July, y'all.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I figured since it was 4th of July week that we'd have to do something pretty baller. So, ready for the American PTW tomorrow. Just saying. Boom. Okay, that's all I wanted to put out there. But yeah, happy 4th of July. I hope you guys had a good time. We enjoyed our day off.
Yeah, no, that
I
was
enjoyed
nice.
everything.
But honestly, the third was
The third
really,
was the best for me.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your party, Dan. I was
okay.
sad, but I mean, my night was just as fun as if it was going to be there.
That's all good. It was.
It was.
Can we talk about the most baller slip and slide ever?
Yes,
What?
yeah, yeah. That was
Yes.
yesterday.
Oh man. But actually,
Oh wait, back on track.
Yeah,
Whoa,
right.
whoa.
back on
It's hot.
Yeah, right.
For a second, I was like.
so another funny quirky thing that I wish VFC would stop doing is their stupid self-shimming gears.
Yes.
I freaking hate.
Those are the ones that they spring load it, so that they're always
Yeah.
touching.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I understand it probably saves them so much money in manufacturing, and VFCs would probably be like $50 more if it weren't for those self-shimming gears. But they just don't work. They work for a while. The issue is as soon as the bearings loosen up faster because the gears can wobble a little bit, and as soon as they do, like you'll start getting these hopping and they strip a piston. Like immediately. I freaking, as someone who techs guns, when I see self-shimming gears, I'm like, yep.
That's a
they're
complaint
gone.
that
They're
Stefano is usually like these self-shit.
They're
Stefano's
such-
like
They're such trash for a company that makes some of the best stuff in
products
Airsoft.
and that.
Yep.
It's just like, what are you doing? What the
Why
are you
do you do
doing?
the things you do?
right?
Why are you the way you are?
There's, and I hate to say it, and I really do, is in terms of internals, I think Crytek has the best game going.
Yeah, they do. They really.
They're reinforced gearboxes, stuff like that, and you know, again, we'll hate on Crytek for their business choices. However,
But their product is fantastic.
they do.
I mean-
It's just not the body. If you put a Crytek gearbox into a VFC body, you got one of the best guns you could get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to open up
Those gearboxes are. I mean, like.
Because the issue is the Crytek bodies like to just break
that
in half.
Yeah.
and an ASG high torque motor.
True.
Yep.
Don't need to touch it ever
Crytek.
again.
I mean, I've had my Crytek
And have
for
great trigger
quite some
response,
time,
everything.
and I
Fuck, I'm sweaty.
like mine is
Yeah,
like
me too.
I'm the third owner of it. Like it was Stefano, and then I think Cowboy had it, and I've been running the thing like
That's like
hard.
7
Like
owners.
I run it as a saw. Exactly. And I've done things where like I run it as a rifle and I run it as a saw, and the thing like is non-stop. I love my Crytek, so I can never say
I love
anything
my half
about
Cryteks.
Hey,
You got the part that matters according to the rule sets.
Right, right.
true.
Um,
I mean, I love, but I don't know. I love my Crytek, so Cryteks are nice. I don't know why more people didn't ever think that like reinforcing the front of the gearbox is.
I've
like, a
literally
good
said
idea.
it. No joke. I've said it since I started teching guns. I'm like, well, this is retarded. Who designed
Yeah.
it this way? And the funny part is, if you look at old generation and new generation G&Gs, you'll see the old generation one where the cylinder is. I need a picture.
Yeah.
This is so hard to explain with just fingers.
Show me the pictures.
Version 2 gearbox. So if you're ever looking to upgrade your gearbox, this is absolutely something to look for. And you'll see a difference versus high quality and low quality gearboxes. can I zoom in on this one? Perfect. Let me throw this onto the other monitor. Let me pop over to that. So, you see these points right here and
those
here.
are, like-
This is a reinforcement bar that VFC's been doing for a while, and it works okay. It works for a while. I believe this is actually a VFC gearbox.
Yeah,
Yep, that's a VFC gearbox. And this works pretty well. It'll last you probably a few 100,000 rounds, which is a lot. What other companies have done is they actually drill a little hole in each corner. And I don't know if you've taken the mechanical engineering class yet, that explains why that's actually beneficial.
Drilling a hole in.
Drilling a hole makes it stronger.
Yeah, right.
Right
Where?
here
Really?
and right here.
In
so-
what direction? I'm sorry.
Through. So
I have not yet.
So what it is when you have a point like that and you have that dynamic stress like that, you get a massive point load right on that corner. By having like a 270-degree circle there, that point stress is spread out throughout the circumference of that circle,
Interesting.
and it
okay.
won't crack the metal as quickly.
I feel like that's...
So it's one of those things. Taking away metal actually makes what's remaining stronger.
I feel like that builds upon CVE 220, like stress.
Yeah, it'll be like
that.
301 and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Cool.
CHE 333
Yeah, see, like
is
that,
another.
I'm actually really excited to learn like stuff. You never
Is
would
it
think
Crytek or TAC? I can never
TAC.
remember.
Attack.
AC.
I don't know why they.
The Crytek gearbox, I don't know. I really like it. It's very fantastic. It's.
Yo, what's
I mean,
good,
like mine's
Vinny?
mine's like in Gen 1.
So
Like, it's old school.
to explain why I love the Crytek gearboxes is let me pull up a similar picture to what I just had up. Ah, perfect.
There you go.
Maybe perfect. Maybe.
So perfect that Google said no.
Oh, I said view saved.
Love you,
Yes.
Vinny.
Nope, I didn't save.
We just got back from formation. We're still here. We're here for an hour and a half, baby. Good thing we have an AC unit in this room, though.
Yeah, it's
That
doing
is
a whole
fact.
not lot at all. So this is what makes Crytek gearboxes so good, in my opinion, is this reinforcement bar right here.
Absolutely.
They don't. Oh, actually, they did both. I wasn't curious.
Yeah.
So, do you
Oh,
see?
yeah. Do you see? It's like the South Park episode.
No, but for real, do you see they? Oh, they did it on all four corners. I should point with the mouse. So see these holes here, 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 and here. That's what keeps it cracking. On top of, they were actually really good with. I should do it again.
I'm happy I chose mechanical engineering.
So again, the hole here, here,
It's so cool.
Those two little
here, and here, as well as this reinforcement here. That's what makes that gearbox so freaking strong.
Yeah, those things.
Also, it's the little things like wire routing
Yeah.
for front wired
Well,
options.
if you've ever owned an Amoeba, you probably run into the issue where,
God.
especially us, because we do the whole rentals. That's the number one problem, other than the wires and the Honey Badger stocks, is the gearbox will crack.
Yep.
The front of the gearbox, right?
I'm hoping that now Elite Force is distributing them.
Yeah, so
they'll be
hopefully
like,
there's
hey,
some
Aries,
quality.
drill these freaking holes. Stop it from cracking. Actually, I don't know
Yeah.
if Aries has already done that or not. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
like that's the one problem that that kids come up to. They're like, oh, it's not feeding and it's not working. And first thing I'm like, aha, there you go. You cracked the gearbox shell. Like those things just didn't put up with a lot.
And it's too bad because see,
It's a
see?
great system.
They're in
Amoeba knows what it's about.
They haven't. So what's great is like doing wiring and all that kind of stuff. Just requires doing these 4 screws. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But they didn't drill the holes.
Yeah. So there's.
And so there was a
can't put up
generation
with
of G&G gearboxes where they would fracture after like 5,000 rounds over and over and over and over. Their new generation has the holes.
it. Yeah.
And they also learned their
Smart,
lesson. Put
huh?
a bearing here.
Yes.
These would-
Learn.
So, but like I said, that's what's great about Umarex is they have the buying power to be like, yeah, your guys are messing up. Fix it, or we're gonna stop buying it.
Yeah.
And that so far works amazingly well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
before we wrap up, are there any more
Oh.
quirks either of you want to mention?
I can't think of anything.
There's some fun ones out there. I can throw another idea out there if you guys can't come up
Yeah.
with one.
Do so. I can't think of
Let's
anything.
see. I mean, I don't know. Can't really. Nothing that really, I can think of. Really just be.
Oh, we talked about like shell ejecting guns.
Yep, that's what's
I
going to be
felt
one I
like-
throw out there.
I feel like one of the
that's an
things,
obvious
those are
Well, it seems so
It's-
cool initially.
yeah, I feel like it was mostly like for like movie props, like people could do that and they could rack it and it'd be cool. But then anybody that would buy one of those, like when I was initially looking at, I was like, you know, it would be cool to have like a bolty or like a shotgun, but then you'd have to buy just like the shell
catch.
And I feel like that kind of takes away from the whole like
shells.
And I was like, God, if I'm not playing on an indoor field, even if I am, good luck finding those shells.
Actually, one thing I can think of is let's see, it's it's those flash hiders that actually muzzle flash. Remember those? Or
the ones they came out pretty recently.
Yeah, they had a flash.
Well,
hider
I think
that has a flash of light on it.
I think that stemmed from people liked how the tracer units looked.
Yeah.
Which because they replicated the muzzle flash.
Yeah, but
by
like
accident.
you think people would want that?
Or people have that for
you're
like
giving away
it's
your
noise.
position.
People do that where it's like
amplifier.
The amplifier
Yeah.
where it's like
so the only
a real gun. So.
I like putting amplifiers on gas blowback guns. They're going to be
work.
loud anyway.
They work.
I'm going to make them more loud.
Yeah.
Like an amplifier on that
would be crazy.
would sound baller.
That's my my thought process towards Tippmann guns. People are always like, oh yeah, I want to put a suppressor on it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Have you heard how loud this gun is?
Yeah.
You're not going to suppress it with some foam in it.
Scott
Why
always
don't you just
ran
make
his.
it louder?
Make it louder.
Scott always ran
heads,
his with an amplifier. Like
get heads down.
how many times he has been like he has caught people off guard because all you could hear was a Tippmann with an amplifier like bah, 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 like scared the shit out of people. Like even me, and I was like next.
Any
to him,
suggestions in chat for funny things to talk about?
The fact that Charles was wearing grass skirt and coconut bra on Sunday.
Yes.
Charles is with us on
I was
YouTube.
impressed.
Yeah, he got $5 off on his mission. We weren't kidding.
Yeah.
I did. I
When we say shit, we mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't make stuff up. I true to my word.
What kind of discount we might be giving for the Crazy 8 event? Probably none.
No.
But if we could think of something just completely zany, I'm
Get an
hoping.
actual tattoo of our logo.
Yeah, right.
You get
don't
a
do that.
tattoo.
Don't do that.
You get one free admission for another day, not that day. So it's not even like I guess I'll just save $25. That's it.
You know, I saw this great tattoo. You know that SpongeBob like meme that's going on where like the mocking one, like where they do like the upper
Yeah,
lip.
get it.
Yeah.
There's the
Tattoos
one that
have
was
to be
like
meaningful.
get a
Yeah,
tattoo.
Yeah.
right. Like you know, like mom, like don't get that too. Like you'll regret it. And then it's just the picture. The tattoo is the picture of SpongeBob doing that,
It's like,
and the caption is like me, and it's like you'll regret that. He's gonna regret it.
That's great.
He's gonna regret
Absolutely.
it.
You don't get memes as tattoos.
No, you do
Never.
not. Charles, and if you get a tattoo of Extreme Airsoft, I mean, I can't even begin to think like.
Don't please.
I wouldn't.
I'm not making any offers without reviewing it by the bosses. But I mean, if you want to, you know, let's go for it, bro. Do it.
I had another funny thing to talk about, but I have completely forgotten what it was. It was what was it? I think it's gone. I'll let you guys start wrapping up. If I think about it, I'll interrupt.
All right.
All right.
So, bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Done.
Fuck you
Okay.
guys.
So, all right. So, reminder: we have pistol shotgun night, 21st of this month. This is the third Friday. Pistol shotguns only. It's a lot of fun. CQB oriented things, the norm.
Yep, right after that.
And then right after that, Saturday, from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. is going to be adult night, 18 plus only. See our Facebook, see the Facebook event, or check out our website.
We're going to be
on the
posting
calendar.
it on our website. Did
I put it up on the calendar on the website.
It's going to go on Diaz.
Yeah,
I'm
so
going
then
to make
go.
sure that one happens.
Yeah.
So
That
go to
is
our
everything.
calendar, and then you'll find the event, and it has like the entire description that we have for the event, like defining all of the rule set, or not all the rules, but like whatever parameters we set forth are
Yes,
explained
the
in
nice
there.
thing is there's less rules on adult night.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, we're expecting a mature
Assuming
audience.
you guys aren't dicks.
Yeah.
There are but on the same token, if you cause problems on adult night, you will be asked to not come back for adult nights.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to be strict about that. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. You guys are here. If you're showing up, and we're going to give a basic idea of what the night is going to be like, but I mean, it's Airsoft with less rules. I mean,
There'll be less refs on the field. It'll be more minimal staff, and it'll be more about you guys policing yourself, just like a Milsim game. There's not a ref following you around.
Yeah,
you know,
it's up to
all
you
of
guys
the-
to make sure that
You
the
have
game
to be
flows.
your own
CBG,
adult.
you know?
You have to be an adult about it. Be mature, be respectful.
It's going to be great though.
It will cut
It
into
is.
Saturday
It's gonna be
gaming, but
insane.
like you're still playing from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is 1 hour less than like on
Yep.
Sunday.
Oh, we should talk about pricing.
Yep,
That's
20
kind of a thing.
Yeah, $20 for 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. If you want to play all day, you can play.
11
You can
a.m.
play. You can
11
play
a.m.
13 hours of Airsoft
11 a.m.
for
to midnight.
$35. If you wanted to.
Fucking
Saturday, we're giving the option from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. $35 all day admission.
Yep.
Good luck.
No, but I
I
mean,
hope
I'd
you
love
enjoy buying BB.
Like,
Bring
like-
water.
like mic drop for that one.
Bring
at
water
every field
and
ever.
plenty of
Like-
Water and food. But it's going to be, hopefully we'll see how that goes. So, and the more interest that you guys show, the more we'll be able to do stuff like that. And then, of course, Crazy 8, our event, our 8-year anniversary, August 26th. Companies are going to be there, Elite Force, Vulcan, Polar Star probably, G&G probably, Tippmann just about there. We're going to have a bunch of companies that are coming out. They're going to be here talking. Jet, Leah, usually P90 Girl, reaching out to some new people. If you think of anybody, toss them down in the comments below that you might want to see
Absolutely.
here, and we'll try to talk to them. We're always trying to see who else can show up for our big birthday
It's
bash.
gonna be
National Guard will be over the rock wall.
Vinny, do it.
It's going to be big, and it's going to
Do
be
it.
pretty awesome. Every year, it's always great. We always try to outdo ourselves on something.
And then send
This
pictures.
past year, we did the addition, so the field's a massive U rather than the L. So I think it'll be pretty. It's going to be
Pretty baller.
big. It's always big. There's going to be a massive raffle at the end of the day, as per the usual, and that's usually thousands and thousands of dollars worth of prizes. So I'm very curious to see what we're going to get this year.
Oh,
So,
God.
definitely-
Do I dare look?
It's going to be something that you're going to want to be there for.
Reasons why I love Vinny.
God, okay. But on that
All
note,
right.
thanks very much
Yeah.
for joining, guys.
Thank you for joining,
I'm
guys.
glad you
Thanks,
enjoyed
guys.
it. We did. We definitely did.
Yeah.
Next week, what was the topic for next week? We discussed this.
So it's going to be a few things. We have a couple topics. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be this, but it's either going to be we're going to kind of dive into the idea of airsoft,
Oh, that's right.
military
That's right.
installation
Respects to-
versus real steel versus video games.
And like the differences,
yeah, the
similarities,
differences,
what
yeah.
comes from one or another.
Yeah.
Kind of like you could definitely argue our LED lighting kind of comes from the video game side of
Yeah.
what people are expecting.
Yeah, exactly. And then real steel versus milsim. Like, what kind
A
of
bunch of
tactics do you
stuff,
think are
everything.
real and not? Like, I've personally got a few things that I.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I have plenty to talk about with
Yeah,
that.
so it'll be a good one, and then there's another one. I think we're just gonna do it. I think it was what was it? Milsim versus Speedsoft.
Yeah,
We're just
a little controversial, but it's
that
okay.
that one's I'm gonna feel gross doing that one because I hate nothing more than categorizing
Oh, I do.
airsoft.
I hate. I'm starting to dislike the phrase milsim.
I hate it. I hate the phrase milsim. I've always hated
Yeah.
the phrase beat, but it's.
I feel like,
But
we'll talk about
it's
that.
a
but
thing.
we're, but
Again,
I mean, we're just gonna
content
talk about
for the
it.
future
Yeah,
here.
just content.
But once again, thank you very much for joining, guys. Tune in on Thursday on YouTube to check out Dan's new video. It's what did you say it was again?
On the American PTW.
Yeah, that's right.
Scott
American
his-
PTW
Yep, that's
Super
gonna be
Baller
released
gun,
tomorrow.
not an AK PTW.
So you won't be
This is the real
disappointed
one.
by this one.
It's also mine.
Unless you're Brendan
Yeah.
McCarthy.
Right?
Brendan.
Yeah.
Who's
Shots
went
fired.
down on the
Pew, pew, pew,
his went
pew.
down in the first 2 hours of playing.
It's 'cause
so-
PTW.
Mine didn't work out of the box.
It's a PTW. That's what they do.
It's kind of like a
That's
Polar
a-
Star though. Polar Stars, they're a little bit of a
A
headache.
$3,000
sometimes.
paperweight is the
Yep.
best.
Once you get it going,
I'll stick it with my
Again, I
cry
have
tag.
6 years.
At least my
I
cry
have
tag
6
won't shit the bed.
years on the same gun.
Yeah.
So, but all right, guys, we'll stop rambling
See
now.
you guys.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Later.
Oh yeah, it will be back to Monday on next week. Bye.